Hello everyone. So today we'll be talking about some of the important models, but before that we'll be talking about the traditional data center that we have got. Now what happens in traditional data center is basically now in the on-premises, that is also called as on-premises, you will actually set up your own data center, right? You will set up your own servers and customer basically. As a customer, if you're not into cloud, basically you will be managing an entire infrastructure, right? But this hardware is also have some lifespan, typically around 3 to 5 years, right? And after that time, the hardware becomes increasingly, expensive to maintain, right? So and also when a new hardware is maintained, you might need to start the software migration and everything once again. So many organizations want basically a way out of this expensive cycle where they do not want to maintain these on-premises servers, and their way we talked about cloud computing is the solution. But in cloud computing as well, you need to understand, as because you will be treating as a customer, and there would be a cloud provider like Microsoft, as what all services will be managed by customer and what all things will be managed by Microsoft. So you need to understand there are first of all three different cloud service models are there: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. These are three cloud service models are there. Now let's understand each one of them. Infrastructure as a service is basically the most flexible category of cloud services, as it provides you maximum amount of control for your cloud resources. Now, let's take a look at this shared responsibility model first. As you can see on the right hand side, in the on premises, as we had a discussion, everything will be managed by the customer. Uh, you know, whether it is physical host, physical data center, whether it is your applications, identity, and everything is your customer responsibility. But in case of infrastructure as a service, because these are cloud models, we are definitely migrating it to cloud. Don't consider if we are migrating it to cloud, everything would be Microsoft responsibility. No, that's not correct. Microsoft has straight away said that there would be a shared responsibility model. Now, what things will be shared in the case of infrastructure as a service? What will be the responsibility of cloud? First of all, provider, let's say Microsoft, they will manage the physical hardware for you, the physical connectivity, physical security, everything would be their responsibility. What would be the customer responsibility then? Now, any operating system, if you want to install, let's say you want to create a virtual machine, right? So those operating system, you will be installing that operating system on that particular virtual machine. You will be selecting your image, whether you want to install maybe a Linux operating system or maybe Windows operating system. Then you need to configure it. Then the applications you need to configure on top of it. Entire that entirely would be customer responsibility, right? That is your shared responsibility model. As you can see on the right hand side, these three models, as you can see, these blue, actually the light blue color, you can see this is Microsoft responsibility. That means the physical setup. But other than that would be the customer responsibility, as you can see on top of it. Okay. Now, in what scenarios basically you will be using this infrastructure as a service? Typically, you can use it for lift and shift migration, which is also called as rehost. Let's say on your traditional basically on-premises environment, your hardware, I told you hardware also has having a a lifespan of 3 to 5 years. After that, you might need to spend a lot of cost to maintain it, right? You have got your application, as you can see over here, you have got your application that is running on premises, and you want to migrate it to cloud. Let's say this application is written on any of the programming languages, maybe Java, .NET, or anything. You do not want to do any code changes. It's just that from this hardware you want to put this actually application on the modern hardware of Microsoft. You want to take the advantage of the modern hardware, let's say, right? This is actually called as lift and shift migration, where you will spin up simply a virtual machine. You will pay for it in cloud, and you're gonna put your application and everything inside it. As you can see, you do not need to do any code changes over here. So this is where majorly infrastructure as a service can be used in maybe rehosting or lift and shift migration. I hope this part is clear. Thank you, everyone.